we were working in Egypt, and Steve Murray and I had a project over there, and we were trying to set out a transponder site. A transponder is, before we had GPS, we had to use electronic shore stations to triangulate to the ship. So you had to put the shore stations out, and then you had another station on the ship, and you could triangulate and get a very good location from those triangulation points. And so we were trying to find a place to put one of these transponders, and we were working in the Gulf of Suez, and so we wanted to put it up high so we could look down into the Gulf and cover a large area. And so we got to the top of this mountain called Jebel Zayt, and when we crested the top of that mountain, there was a guardhouse, and they had automatic weapons, and they invited us in. Well, we didn't want to go in, and so they said, no, you had to go in. They didn't speak English, but they pointed that we had to go in. So I was driving, took the vehicle in, and as soon as we got over the rise, you could look down and see that this was a big military, first-rate military complex. And I said, I am not driving down into that. So I turned around, went back to the guardhouse, and I said, no, and they said, okay, commandant. So they called the commandant and got him to come up to the guardhouse. And fortunately, he had been educated in the United States and spoke English. And he said, he didn't tell us what that complex was, but he said, what are you doing here? You know, what are your objectives? And we told him that we're oceanographers and geologists, and we're studying the Gulf of Suez and trying to find a transponder spot up there. Well, after about 30, 40 minutes of questioning, he said, go back. We were standing in this little village called Hurghada. He said, go back to Hurghada. And he said, do not get off the road. It was about, I'd say 25 kilometers to the main road. And that 25-kilometer stretch had been mined, and it was an active minefield. And we had already been off that road, walking over, taking pictures of tidal flats. And we were smart enough that we walked in tire tracks, you know, that we didn't get out of those tire tracks. But that was alarming to find out that we were walking around in an active minefield. And then these guys came to our cabin, and they went through all of our gear for about a week, every day for a week, to see if we were spies or something, you know, that looking into the activities of the Egyptian military. And then the next year we worked with the Israelis on the Gulf of Eilat, which is just right next door. And we were telling this story to them. And they said, oh yeah, that's a secret missile base. I thought, holy moly, how did we stay out of an Egyptian jail? I don't know, but we were lucky. That was maybe not a funny story, but it was certainly a shocking event.